Hello everybody, this is Tim again. I just saw the movie It, just a little bit after I saw Blade Runner, and I figured I'd go ahead and do a review for It. All in all, the reviews for It are really good. Critics seem to be liking it. Fans seem to be enjoying it. I have read the book before, but it's been a while. As far as the miniseries version goes, I actually like the miniseries version. I thought it was good. I thought the miniseries version was good, or at least pretty good. But I don't remember if I thought it was great or not. But I remember it being pretty good. It's been a long time since I've seen it. Tim Curry did a great performance in that original miniseries, though. I'll just go ahead and get this off right off the top of my head right here. You got the Skarsgård version of It in this film, and you got the Tim Curry version in the original film. Both versions did a great job. Both actors did a great job. This It, though, has a problem where every now and then he'll get a little bit too over the top, but the actor kind of brings it back in. And the difference between this It and the other It is the Tim Curry It had some charmingness about him. I can see why he could trick kids into wanting to get near him or whatever, and how he could grab him or whatever. This It, they just go straight for horror. Just straight for horror. If you want a horror movie, this is the It for you. This It is much scarier than the Tim Curry version. Every now and then he'll go a little bit over the top, but then the actor brings it back down and brings it back in and gets you sucked back into his performance. Here they make It like Freddy Krueger pretty much. He'll be funny at one time, and then he'll just snap, and he'll just be scary again. They did a great job on the horror and the comedy here. This really comes off like a Nightmare on Elm Street movie. This is a better remake of a Nightmare on Elm Street than the Nightmare on Elm Street remake. Honestly, that's hilarious to me. But you got some really hilarious scenes about once he'll just be dancing and then he'll leap out towards the kid or whatever. I found that shit hilarious. You got the bullies in here, which were in the original version and in the book. The bullies here, they do a good job. All the kid actors here do good to great jobs. I mean, every now and then you have some weak acting from the kids, but they're kid actors. You got to let a little bit of that go. You know what you get into with child actors. They do a good to great job here. One surprising thing about this movie is it is a horror film, but it's also like a teen film at the same time. This, to me, will probably be like the new age Monster Squad almost for kids today, where kids will get scared by the movie and everything. But at the same time, it'll be the new movie like Monster Squad that the kids of today grow up with, and they'll remember when they get older and they'll be like, yeah, when it came out, man, that was the shit. That's what this feels like to me. But yeah, I prefer the new version of It. I think he's better than the Tim Curry version in terms of me being a horror fan and wanting a scarier version of It and wanting something scary. I feel like he does better than Tim Curry. The Tim Curry version was creepy and he was funny, and he had a little bit of charm to him, but he was never scary. He was never really scary. Mostly because they were on a television station or a miniseries back then on a major channel, and they couldn't go as over the top with the gore or the scariness as this version can. Here, because it's based off the book, some of the characters, like the black kid and the Jewish kid, they get sidelined a little bit for a lot of the movie. I would have liked more with them. I feel like there's probably more deleted scenes in the film that had to do with them, and that they were probably deleted, and we'll probably get them in an extended cut. I feel like they could have done more with them. It does feel like, because they had to condense it from the book, that it does feel like there's some stuff missing that they probably either deleted or could have went more in with. I would have liked a little bit more with the asthma kid's mom, who just is overprotective. I would have liked a little bit more with the black kid's family. And I would have liked more with the Jewish kid's family, honestly, as well. And a little bit more with the bully's relationship with his dad. We get in the movie that his dad is obviously abusive, and that's the reason the bully's such an asshole. I would have liked a little bit more into that, but we get enough to where we can understand it as a movie. I tried as hard as I can to not compare the movie to the book, because I like to just watch movies on their own as an adaptation. I don't like to overly compare something to the book, because the Shining Stanley Kubrick film is one of the best horror movies ever made, in my opinion, and it's nothing like the book. So I don't try to get too enwrapped with that. But either way, this is a great film. I'd give it 1 to 4 stars. I'd give it 4 stars. This is a great horror teen-themed movie. I had a great time with it. I don't think it's a masterpiece like some people are I think some people are overhyping and overblowing the film. It's not a masterpiece. It's not on the level of something like The Exorcist or Halloween or whatever. It's not. I don't like it as much as the original Friday the 13th, which I also thought was great. It's not as good as any of those three, in my opinion. But this is still a great horror movie. It's not a horror masterpiece, but it is a great horror movie, in my opinion. So the problem with the film, there's a little bit too much CGI. Sometimes when the clown pops up, there's a little bit too much CGI with him that doesn't seem like it needs to be there. I did love the scene when the projector thing stopped and the clown jumped out of it, and he was huge, gigantic size. but at the same time, it felt a little bit too theatrical. But other than that, the actor who plays Pennywise in the film does a great job carrying the character, which I loved. This Pennywise, like I said, is far scarier than the original version. This movie has some really creepy ass moments. The scene where like the leaper dude who looks kind of like a zombie, and he's like, "Time to take your medicine" or whatever, and he's chasing after the little boy around the house. That shit was creepy. I loved how the clown could like shift from one form to the next like that, just at will. That was cool. I like that. It reminded me, as a Freddy fan, totally of Freddy Krueger. If they want to, only if they want to, they could literally make this a new franchise with a new major slasher villain, just like Freddy, and just have the same actor come back in every sequel, just playing Pennywise. And I don't know if I'd be down with that or not. I don't know. Would it be a betrayal of the book, since it kind of... I don't know. They could do it. They could. I'm not saying they should, but they could if they want. But anyway. And so the clown starts trying to take... And one thing I liked here is they actually show the kids more in danger. And I love the hardcoreness of the first death. Like when the clown rips the little kid's arm off. Yes, there's CGI on his mouth a little bit, but it's only like a split-second shot with the clown, and you blink and you'll miss it. But then when he rips the kid's arm off, I was like, oh shit, because it shows how brutal the clown is and how brutal the movie is. That this movie is not going to mess around. It actually, unlike the original that just put the kids in danger and didn't really show anything, when he rips the kid's arm off, it looks graphic, man. When he kills the little boy with the boat at the beginning of it, that shit looks graphic. I also like the little hilarious nervous tick thing that the actor added into the clown. He's like, "You want some balloon?" I thought that was fun. That kind of shit was funny. We get to the end of the movie. It kidnaps this girl named Beverly, who is pretty much the one that the boys are crushing on because she's the only girl in the group. And her dad, we get the idea that her dad is like a child molester or whatever. And I like it when she like knocks his brains out of the top of the toilet seat. That was hilarious. Now I like this little creep moment right here where she turns around all at once and there's it, and he just reaches out and grabs her. I like that. And we get to the end. He's got her kidnapped, and he opens up his mouth or whatever, and these lights come out from inside his body and cause her to freeze in like midair and floating. I thought that was cool. And if you know the book or the original miniseries, those are the dead lights, which they'll obviously go in more into in the sequel to this, Chapter 2 or whatever. But the kids show up there, and they got to take out it. And I like when they're attacking it. It's like the T-1000 from Terminator. It just keeps turning all these different forms. They end up defeating it, and it's like going down this hole or whatever, and it's like fear. I like the way the actor said it, who plays it. You get the idea that's the first time the clown's ever really been afraid itself. That pretty much is like a kid empowerment thing. All the kids band together, they're able to overcome the thing that they're all afraid of, which is this demonic clown. There was this one scene in the movie where it was tormenting the fat kid, and it became like this Goosebumps type thing. It was like a body that was charred and had like no head, and it started like running towards him. I thought that was kind of cool. Kind of reminded me of Goosebumps in a way. Kind of fun. And then after that, the kids walk out. They do the blood pack thing or whatever, which is kind of like from the book, or the pack thing, which is from the book. And they're all like, promise me if it comes back, years later from now, whenever it comes back, however long, whatever year it is, whatever, we'll come back and finish it. And then they're all like, yeah. And then they walk off, and that's when the movie ends. All the kid actors do a great job. Nobody here delivers a bad performance. I would have liked a little bit more from the adults, and there's a little bit too much cliche of the adults just being all mostly assholes. I would have liked at least one decent adult here. But for the most part, they're all good to great. The guy who played Pennywise was hilarious when he needed to be. He was scary when he needed to be. Only problem I had with him was a little bit too much CGI on him, and every now and then he'd get a little bit too over the top, but the actor would always bring it back in. Kind of the same problem I had with later Freddy movies. Here, they've pretty much turned Pennywise into Freddy Krueger. Pretty much. And the actor does a great job with it. This Pennywise, like I said, is far scarier than the Tim Curry version. He's not as charming as the Tim Curry version, but he's far scarier and much more intense, and he comes off more of a threat than the Tim Curry version ever did. But the Tim Curry version was more charming, and I liked the fact that he was able to trick kids into thinking he was kind of an innocent clown. This Pennywise, you take one look at this guy, you're going to be like, hey, this is kind of that thing going on here. This one, they just plays like a straight-up villain. No way in hell you'd ever trust this dude. But he does a great job at being scary. Like, if you want something that's actually scary, unlike the Tim Curry version, which was more creepy, with this, you get that here. This version is actually truly frightening. He's really scary. And he has one form in here that really looks like freaking Slender Man. Like, Slender Man can honestly sue this movie and probably win. He looks just like Slender Man. But, I like this version of Pennywise better because he just comes off more of a threat. Like, I feel like I could have probably fist fought the Tim Curry one. Here, this one seems like it would have put up more of a an ass whooping to me if I got after it. But yeah, all in all, this is a great movie. I don't think it's as good as Wonder Woman, and it's not a horror masterpiece, but it is a great horror movie. It's probably the best horror movie I've seen all year. It's a great horror movie. But I don't think it's a classic, but it's a great horror film. It is. It's great. But I think Wonder Woman is slightly better than this film, but I enjoyed this film more personally because I'm a horror fan. More than a comic book fan, really. So I enjoyed this film more personally than Wonder Woman, but I think Wonder Woman is a slightly better film, but I did enjoy this film more. So this is my second favorite film of the year after Blade Runner so far. I need to see Justice League. Justice League is my most anticipated film. I think I'll probably like Justice League better than it, and probably better than Blade Runner, but I do think Blade Runner is obviously going to be a better film than Justice League. That's not me saying anything bad about DC or nothing, because I'm a huge DC fan. I just honestly think because Blade Runner is such a cerebral, smart, intelligent film, that's obviously going to be better than a fun comic book movie like Justice League or Avengers. I liked Blade Runner better than any Marvel movie as well. But at the same time, I'm more of a comic book fan than I am a Blade Runner fan. So I think Justice League will probably end up being my favorite film of the year, just on a personal level, with Blade Runner coming in at number 2, and this coming in at number 3, and Wonder Woman at number 4. Even though I think Wonder Woman was a slightly better film, I enjoyed this personally more than Wonder Woman. This was a great film. It was. All in all, yeah, that wraps it up. I'll see you guys again with the next review.